Today we refight the Battle of Baetis Valley using 15mm miniatures and DBA. This is the first in a mini-series following Carthage in Spain before the Second Punic War. You can find our other DBA battles and a link to other videos in this series via a link in the video description. After the First Punic War and the resultant truceless or mercenary war, Carthage was bankrupt. As part of the Treaty of Lutatius, they had to pay a large indemnity to Rome. Hamilcar, in the name of paying back this war debt, aimed to plunder the south of what is now Spain of its mass supplies of silver. There were some Phoenician outposts in the area already, which may have had friendly relations with Carthage, but there were also many tribal groups of renowned warriors who would resist encroachment doggedly. Through a mix of diplomacy, marriage alliance and conquest, Hamilcar established a firm foothold in the area. But this rapid expansion threatened the locals to such an extent that they formed a mass coalition to resist the Carthaginian incursion. In the resultant Battle of Baetis Valley, the Iberians were soundly defeated, their leader slain, and forces scattered. Hamilcar was even able to recruit 3,000 into his own ranks, but this would be far from the end of organised resistance. As for all Carthaginian battles that don't involve Rome, information regarding this encounter is scarce. This scenario represents an entertaining but rough approximation of events. The battlefield is composed of some coarse hills with a central open area to represent the valley. Hamilcar leads a mixed Carthaginian force with a variety of troops. The Spanish forces are almost entirely medium infantry, with a small contingent of ferocious Celt Iberians. The Carthaginians are also outnumbered 9 units to 12. Deployment is fairly predictable. Although the Spanish forces are forced to bunch up in the confines of the valley, the Spanish start the battle and advance cautiously off the hills. Hamilcar sends his men forward to try and stop the enemy reaching open ground. The Iberian forces know the terrain well, however, and quickly form a battle line. The Carthaginians don't hesitate, and the elephants are thrown into combat. The Celt-Iberians give ground, but carry on fighting. The Spanish instead focus on the opposite flank, hoping to use superior numbers to stretch the enemy, and they let the pachyderms continue pushing through their line. Deciding time isn't on his side, Hamilcar launches a full-scale attack. The lightly armed Scutarii are not able to stand up to the Carthaginian veterans. The Spanish general is forced to fill the gap in his line with skirmishers. Hamilcar continues to try and push the advantage. His confidence in the Numidians is misplaced, and some of the light horse are driven from the field. Unsurprisingly, the spearmen send the skirmishers fleeing. But even with their flanks exposed, the Iberians will not surrender the road. The Spanish recoil from the elephants. That fight is no longer connected to the main battle line. However, this leaves the Numidians alone and soon surrounded. The Carthaginian general is now in a difficult position. They don't have the movement to reach the Numidians, and if the general tried to intervene, they could get themselves killed for no gain. Instead, they reinforce the spearmen to try and drive through the centre. But the plan fails. The elephants push on in the eternal combat. Sadly, abandoned, the last Numidians fall. Seeing the time is ripe, it seems like the entire Spanish peninsula descends on the elephants. Astoundingly, the pachyderms continue to hold out. Some Celt-Iberians try to break through the now lonely spearmen, but they can't make it through. Hamilcar's decision to stay central pays off. This is too much for the mercenaries, and they quit the field. The Iberians still hold the road through the pass. Surrounded on all sides, the elephants go into a fury and destroy the last of the Celt-Iberians. Their most respected warriors defeated, the Spanish quit the field. This was a close battle. If the elephants had not beaten the odds, then victory would be in Iberian hands. We hoped you enjoyed the battle today. If you would like to have a go yourself, you can find the scenario rules via a link in the video description. Thank you for watching this video from Mini Model Murder. Take care and see you soon.